What if two stocks could show you exactly how to grow your wealth in times of stability and protect it in times of chaos? What if those two stocks quietly signaled how successful people prepare for both prosperity and panic? These stocks are SPY and UVXY, and by the end of this video, you will never look at the market the same way again. These are not just ticker symbols. They are strategies. They are roadmaps. And if you want to build a legacy, understanding these two is essential. You are a young professional. You are working hard saving, maybe even starting to invest. But nobody ever really explained the tools that the wealthy actually use. Everyone talks about investing in general, but no one tells you what they really hold, how they prepare for crashes, or how they hedge when the world turns upside down. You're told to buy low and sell high, but never taught how to think long-term or protect your gains during economic downturns. SPY and UVXY are two of the most powerful symbols in that equation. SPY tracks the heartbeat of the entire US stock market. UVXY is like a lightning rod for volatility. Together, they represent two ends of the spectrum, growth and defense. And when used correctly, they unlock strategies that are almost invisible to the average investor. These are tools used by hedge funds, wealth managers, and individuals with deep understanding of how markets move and how to stay prepared. This is not financial advice. This is financial awareness. It is how you build clarity, resilience, and strategy. It is how successful people thrive in both bull and bear markets. And it is how you begin thinking like an investor, not a gambler. SPY is an ETF. That means it is a basket of stocks packaged into one investment you can buy like a single share. But not just any stocks. SPY tracks the S&P 500. That is the 500 largest publicly traded companies in America. These are the companies that form the backbone of the American economy, tech giants, banks, healthcare providers, manufacturers, retailers, and more. When you buy one share of SPY, you are buying tiny pieces of 500 companies. You own a slice of Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Tesla, JP Morgan, and hundreds more. SPY is stability. SPY is growth. SPY is the market. It is a representation of the economy's overall health, and it has been tested through decades of growth, crashes, recessions, and recoveries. Why do wealthy people love SPY? Because it represents long-term performance. Because it has historically returned around 8 to 10% annually over decades. Because it allows them to participate in the entire market with one simple trade. And because it lets them grow wealth without micromanaging. It is passive, diversified, and tax-efficient when held over time. UVXY is different. It is the opposite of calm. UVXY is a leveraged ETF that tracks volatility, specifically the VIX, also known as the Fear Index. The VIX measures market expectations for future volatility. When investors are scared, the VIX spikes. And when the VIX spikes, UVXY often moves sharply higher. UVXY uses leverage to amplify the daily changes in volatility. That means it is capable of massive gains during periods of fear, but it also decays quickly over time during normal market conditions. This is not something to buy and forget. It is a tactical instrument used by professionals for hedging and short-term plays. When markets panic, the VIX spikes. And when the VIX spikes, UVXY can surge. UVXY is not for everyday buy and hold. It is for defense. It is for turbulence. It is for the storm. It exists to help hedge against fast and furious declines in the market. Smart investors do not just bet on growth. They also prepare for risk. UVXY allows some of them to hedge their portfolios when they expect volatility, uncertainty, or crashes. It can act like insurance. When everything else is bleeding red, UVXY might be green. Let us go back to 2008. The real estate market collapsed. Banks failed. Stocks crashed. Trillions of dollars were wiped out. Panic ruled the markets. SPY dropped by over 50% from its 2007 highs to its 2009 lows. One share of SPY that was worth around $150 before the crash fell to about $70. That means a $10,000 investment was suddenly worth less than $5,000. Meanwhile, volatility exploded. The VIX surged past 80. UVXY did not exist yet. It was introduced in 2011, but if it had, it would have likely surged several 100% during that same period. Instruments tracking the VIX jumped as fear engulfed Wall Street. Imagine if you had one share of SPY and one share of a volatility hedge, like UVXY. Your SPY would have lost value, but your UVXY would have surged, cushioning the impact. You would not have felt helpless watching everything drop. You would have had a parachute. That is how the smart money protects itself. Fast forward to March 2020. The world shuts down. The pandemic hits. Stocks plunge. Lockdowns. Unemployment. Market freefall. SPY fell from around $338 to $228 in just a few weeks, a drop of over 30%. But UVXY, it surged from around $13 to over $135 in the same time frame. That is a 900% increase. If you held one share of SPY and one share of UVXY before the crash, your SPY dropped by $110. Your UVXY gained over $120. The losses were nearly neutralized. That is what hedging looks like. That is what protection looks like. That is what preparation looks like. SPY is for long-term wealth building. It is how successful people diversify instantly across 500 companies, reinvest dividends to accelerate growth, set up autopilot portfolios for themselves and their kids, create passive portfolios with predictable performance, use dollar cost averaging to reduce risk. They do not watch it daily. They set contributions, automate, and let the market do its job. They focus on the long game. They use SPY like a financial foundation, simple, powerful, enduring. UVXY is not for everyone. It is not for beginners. But for informed investors, it is used to hedge large portfolios during times of fear. Trade short-term volatility spikes. Protect retirement assets from sudden crashes. Add balance in bear market conditions. Profit from panic while others are paralyzed. It is important to know, UVXY is not meant for long-term holding. It decays over time. It is for moments, not months. Used wisely, it is a tactical hedge. Used carelessly, it can burn capital quickly. Think of SPY as your ship. UVXY is your lifeboat. You want to sail across the ocean of wealth, but you also want a lifeboat in case of a storm. You do not live in the lifeboat, but you are grateful it is there when you need it. That is how pros think. They are not emotional. They are prepared. They do not panic. They plan. And their plans include both growth and defense. People think SPY is boring, but boring builds wealth. Boring compounds. Boring wins. People think UVXY is dangerous. And yes, it can be, but it is also powerful when used strategically. People think these are only for the rich, but you can start with one share. That is the beauty of access. People confuse complexity with intelligence, but mastery is often found in simplicity. Imagine owning just one share of SPY. Just one. Imagine knowing when and why to use UVXY as a defensive play. Imagine understanding how the market moves and being ready instead of reactive. That is the advantage of knowledge. That is the power of awareness. That is what this video gives you. You are not behind. You are right on time. And now you have tools. Real tools. Comment below. Had you ever heard of SPY or UVXY before this video? Which one are you more curious about? Like if you feel more empowered. Subscribe if you want weekly insights like this. Share this video with someone you care about. And press play on our How You Can playlist in the background every day, because wealth is not built from motivation. It is built from repetition, belief, and clarity. Your daily inputs determine your financial future. You do not need to guess anymore. You do not need to fear. You need to learn, to understand, to build. SPY is your path. UVXY is your protection. Together, they represent a new way of thinking. A smarter, more strategic path forward. Like, comment, subscribe. Welcome to the How You Can movement. Let us build strategic wealth together, one smart decision at a time.